All right, so welcome back to the PPC Mastery Podcast. Today I have another special guest for you. This man who I'm talking to right now is one of the, in my opinion, smartest minds in PPC in the Netherlands. I don't know, for some reason we have a lot, but he's definitely one of them. This is Ruben Runneboom. He's been sharing a lot of useful tips and tricks on LinkedIn for many years. When I started posting my content a couple of years ago, I remember that Ruben, you were also one of the people that was also doing it back then, which wasn't a lot of people. So it's been really cool seeing your growth, and it's my pleasure to have you on here on the PPC Mastery Podcast. And I know that you initially worked as a freelancer. We have pretty similar backgrounds, from working at an agency to then freelancing and then starting something else after that. And I think it was about a year ago or so, maybe a little bit more, that you switched to actually building an agency, task force agency. So before we dive into today, we want to talk about, Black Friday tips and tips and tricks for your Google Ads results. Before we do that, I would like to ask you, how has that transition been from, freelancing to now building an agency, and why did you decide to do that? And how has that been for you so far?
Oh, thank you for the great introduction. That means a lot to me. But yeah, very pleased to be here. And if I can directly dive into your question, I think yes, I worked at different agencies as well. In this case, in the north of the Netherlands, I think in three different agencies. And basically, when I was at the agency, yeah, if you work a few years over there and the good people are going away, they are starting for themselves, or they are going to an in-house job, something like that. Yeah, the knowledge within the company is thin spread. So basically, I like to learn as well. So basically, what I did, I was try to find new strategies, new features on LinkedIn. That's why I know you from that part. But I think back in the days, I had the choice to go somewhere in-house or become a freelancer. And yeah, basically, I spoke to other Google Ads specialists. I think you know them. But basically, they are convinced me to go freelancing, and yeah, I don't have any regrets to it, because yeah, my portfolio, I think, was full within 2 or 3 months. And
Nice.
yeah, basically we take it up from there. And basically we are starting, yeah, they rent the place out in Groningen in the north of the Netherlands. And basically we are there with four specialists, Google Ads specialists in this case. And with one of those guys, Bernd in this fall, is my partner from Platforms right now. We noticed that we are getting a lot of questions from leads in this case. But they were too big for a freelancer, because when I was a freelancer, I don't want to be independent from one or two major clients.
Mm.
Because if they want to go or something like that, yeah, then you are they are stuck with no clients. So basically, what we like to do is to see how we come up with a way then we can serve those leads, and maybe build something that's a little bit bigger than ourselves, our own hours. And that's why we are thought of and fits to like an collective. So basically, Task Force is not a traditional agency, but it's more like a freelance collective with only senior specialists. And yeah, right now we work for many awesome international clients. So basically, it's more or less, it's a little bit right now a little bit more client work. Basically
Mhm.
because we need to run the business, of course. But I always try to have 3 or 4 major clients which I can dive into you call it in Dutch, met de poten in de klei. It's a saying like that
Get your
you
hands
are
dirty.
get your hands dirty and staying on top of the latest features, and to help our consultants to become the best they can. Which of course, with the help from my other two partners in this case. basically, it's a lot of different, but yes, more or less the same as well, like the same time, you know?
Right, right. And have you always worked for e-com clients yourself?
I think when I started, it was a mix from lead gen and e-commerce, but basically
Mhm.
because I had my own e-commerce store back in the day, that's where my passion at. So basically,
Yeah.
I moved to the e-com part, I think 5-6 years ago, and yeah, I'm stuck there and I love it. So
Nice. Yeah, I think you are really similar to Bob in the sense that you are a diehard Google Ads specialist. I think that's probably one of the things that you love the most is just nerding out and coming up with new advanced strategies and tactics, right?
yeah, that's the thing where I'm passionate about. I guess to dive a little bit deeper than our colleagues do, and to see where we can find some competitive edge over the competition in this case. And yeah, many times you need to you need to dig deeper and see what you can achieve within the things that are possible. But yes, that's where my passion is. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, man, let's pivot to Black Friday because the peak season is coming up. It's the we're recording it now on September 30th, which is tomorrow. It's October 1st, which means that it's officially Q4.
Yep.
And it's always crazy how fast it goes, right? Before you know it, it's like Black Friday again, and then Cyber Monday again, Christmas again. Crazy period that is ahead of us. And I
Yep.
want to, yeah, just talk to you about your approach to, helping your clients get the best possible results. So before we dive into the nitty gritty and everything, this was a great question that Bob just asked you in the session that we did in the PPC Hub about the sentiment around Black Friday for your clients. What have you seen in recent years? How the sentiment may have changed? Maybe some clients are still fully on board with it and just want to go as crazy as possible, where other brands are maybe completely the other way around. They're like, we don't want to do as much with Black Friday. How's that been in your portfolio in recent years, and what do you see today?
Yeah, we definitely see a shift in the sentiment in this case. I noticed it's a little bit more negative in the way because of the margins of our clients become way less than used to be because of all the costs are rising, as you know. Not only the cost of goods sold, but also the handling cost, transportation costs, or something like that. So basically, the margins are less than they had previous years. So they can't spend more on if they can't go get so low with the price like Black Friday. So definitely we look at the proposition of a client and strategy of a client. Some of ours do have a growth strategy, and then we maybe push a little bit harder on the Black Friday sale period. And other clients of us has a more they have built a name already. They have a steady client base, and then we are taking strategy to defend the market share the way they could, and maybe we can inform the customers of our clients why they don't want to incorporate to be a part of Black Friday because of the ridiculous margins or the consumer madness. Then they want to see how we can change that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what's your personal recommendation then? Because some brands, they, it's always whatever what the business owners want to do. That's obviously like, it's their choice whether you want to do a big promotion or not. But your opinion as a marketer, as a Google Ads specialist, let's say there's no, it depends, like, the clients, they will do whatever you say is wise. What is your recommendation? Like, should they do a sale? Should they not do a sale? Generally speaking.
So I think they need to be true to their corporate identity, and because if a big discount not suit your style, then you don't need to incorporate it in your strategy. For example, if you're, my opinion is if you can go so low with the margins and something like that, and you then normally you are priced too high. So basically, I think, you need to look at your proposition as a company and see if discounting suits your brand or not. And then you can go from there, because what we try to do is to see, okay, if do we have a steady base of clientele already. Then we try to inform them why we don't incorporate Black Friday in our strategy, and that we are sending our proposition. And of course, then we take some hit from the new clients we miss in that period. But then we have to see how we can turn it around later. But I think most important part is to stay true to your own brand and corporate identity to come through this period.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because my biggest two clients last year, over the last couple of years, they are on the total opposite end of the corporate identity spectrum. So the one brand is like super ecological, let's say green type of corporate identity, and their product is more suited for winter periods as well. So the winter Q4 it's their season as well, if you talk about seasonality. So they're already scaling in, let's say, November until March or so. And they decided that they were not going to do Black Friday, and every year they still like crush the results. And maybe some people also appreciate that if they see that they are true to their corporate identity, and that they don't do these crazy discounts just for the sake of, consuming more. But then at the same time, that's also that kind of a strategy, because then they know, like, okay, this maybe will resonate with our target audience, our ideal customers, because they think, oh, I like this brand because they are staying true to the corporate entity, and then they were still scaling. And then on the other hand, go ahead.
I think that's most important, and I think that's what just to talk about with Bob also was, you need to stay true to your brand, and if you're, I think if I'm looking at the consumer way, and for example, you want to buy this mouse, for example, and normally it's €100, and now during Black Friday it's €50, and if you are a week too late, it's €100 again. You're feeling fucked like a customer, and I don't like it, and then I will definitely buy another brand. So basically, I think you have to think wise what you want to do and want to discount. So
yeah. Also, I think with the expectations that you create, because the other brand, on the other hand, they were always so hungry for sales, and well, not to say anything bad about them, it's just their strategy worked, because they became an 8-figure brand as well. But they always, at some point, they just were addicted to discounting, because when they tried to remove the sale, all the sales started to dry up, except for those that were still in the pipeline and some remarketing. But then afterwards, on full price, because people at some point just knew that, oh, this brand is always going to do discounts, so I'm going to wait for them to do another discount. And then that kind of hurt their brand in the long run. And now they are in a downward spiral. Whereas on Black Friday, they just have to do like 40-50% crazy offer. Otherwise, there's just no sales. So that's the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, so I think you have your answer right there, because what's the most durable way to run your business? And I think if you discount once, then you have to do it over and over again, just like you said. And people are expecting the sale period, and that will hurt the normal regular times. And I think if I'm standing in the consumer's shoes, I don't like that. So if I run my business like that, that is not my style. So basically, I think you need to stay true, and you see which. It depends, of course, in all industries, of course, but I think the most durable brands that are looking after their brands, they don't want to target only the bargain hunts, for example. You like to have the durable relationship with your customer that are coming back again if you have bought something once. So basically, I think if you look at the bigger picture, the longer way, then I would guess to be a little bit easy on the discounts, and maybe if you want to participate in the madness, maybe you can enhance your offer with goodies or something like that, or maybe some maintenance contract or something like that to be a part of it. But yeah, I suggest to be a little bit easy on the discounts if you can.
Yeah. That's also, I mean, if you see all your competitors doing it left, right, and center, then you sort of have to get on their hamster wheel. Otherwise, it's just, you have to choose. And if they are, otherwise, they're just going to grab, because we have to be real, like around Black Friday and Christmas, people are simply just buying more, and the conversion rates are higher, even if you don't have an offer, because people just have, money in their
Buying
hand.
intention. Yeah,
buying intention, exactly. So
yeah. So basically, then the question is, do they buy if you don't run a discount? So if you have your branding in order, then they will the sales come in also. So basically, I know, I know the struggle. But in this case, I will be a little bit easy on the discounting part.
Yeah, especially if you're talking about margins, because for us as Google Ads specialists, it's really nice when clients have these big sales, because our numbers are just gonna go up, and we see the dashboards and just refresh every day, and it's a lot of fun in terms of for us, because we don't have to deal with the margins.
But if you look at, for example, at the POAS target for profit, you can see the decreasing also. But then you are on thin ice on that part. So basically, just what Bob mentioned earlier, you need to calculate your break-even ROAS with discounts. Very good, because you don't want to run red numbers, or maybe if that's your strategy, it's also fine. But you need to know your number.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a very important aspect of this as a Google Ads consultant as well, not just as a specialist, but as a consultant, to challenge your clients and get those numbers for them if they are not aware. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you have a really good sales amount in terms of revenue, but then you see the profit margins and then -10, -15%. You're just running the business into the ground.
Been there, we noticed.
Yeah. So let's say you do run a Black Friday offer, crazy discounts for it doesn't even have to be crazy discount, but let's just say you run an offer for Black Friday for your clients. What are some of the most important aspects to think about in terms of how to then use that to drive results with Google Ads?
Yes, basically, we like to start in time. And what is in time? I think we are now in end of September. I think that's already a little bit late. So basically, we like to have conversations with our clients in October already. And what we like to do is to see, okay, where do they stand on the whole discounting part and the Q4 madness part, and what is their proposition against what they want to reflect to the target audience in this case. And basically, if you ask the right questions, that's the main part for us. We need to know what they want and which budget, for example, they have available, and what are the margins where we talk about. And basically, if we know that what they want, we can calculate what we want to do. Do you want only defend your market share? Then we can come up with a strategy for that. We also like to know what their inventory levels are for those products, for example, so we can see if we can create bundle products, for example, something like that. That type of questions, I think that's most important to make understand what your client wants in the end.
Yeah. And so quick question on that. So do you have in your portfolio the last couple of years and now, are most clients coming to you and say, okay, hey, Ruben, we're going to be doing this offer on Black Friday? Or is it usually that you have to chase them like, hey, come on, you have to tell me now, what are we going to do?
Both in this case.
Yeah.
So basically, the bigger clients of us, and the most the international clients, they have thought about it as well. Of course, within the management team of company, of course. And basically, we try to discuss it in our Q4 meeting. So basically, then they already know what they want to do, and then we can see if it's feasible or not. And other clients, yeah, we need to chase. And yeah, the first question is, do you want to incorporate something in your strategy or not? And yeah, basically, what we like to do is in September we are emailing our clients. So we want to plan a Q4 meeting, and this and this and this is on the agenda. You can think about it ahead, and then we can go in the meeting prepared, and then can we see from there.
Yeah, right. So then, in terms of the actual Google Ads account, you know, I think the most important thing of Black Friday, if you want to drive results, is the offer. That is usually one of the core things. But if you zoom into the account, what things can you optimize, or what things can you set up and prepare to make sure that you have the best possible results, around that time?
Yeah, I think what the most important is to know your numbers, of course, which
Yeah.
break-even targets you have to achieve to drive some profit in the end. And basically, if you know how low you can go, then you can prepare your campaign setup for it. For example, with bid adjustments or something like that. Maybe you can set up already some asset groups or something like that in advance to make sure if you want to change your assets that they are not need to go in the approval phase, and because you want to do it upfront. So basically we use Google Ads rules for that part to make sure if you file the new asset group, then they already approved when they are switched on, for example.
Smart.
So basically what we try to do, is prepare the account. Maybe it's containing to build up a new campaign, for example, a push campaign. We like to add the new products in advance in the product feed for this, in this case. So let's say you need at least 2 weeks ahead before the sale period is starting. You need to file those products in your product feed for approval, and you can work on it if they are not met the requirements in this case. And and you need the assets, of course. So basically what we try to do in the meeting, in the Q4 meeting, we try to see which type of campaigns we want to run and which assets we need, for example, visuals or text or something like that. Yeah, we need to collect it and implement it in the strategy. So that are the things we can do upfront. And also enhancing product sheets and something like that. It's always smart to do upfront.
Yeah. So, what would you say are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen in accounts around Black Friday? Maybe it's the mistakes that brands have made. Maybe it's mistakes you've seen in audits from new accounts that you take over. But generally speaking, what are the biggest mistakes that brands make with Google Ads around the Black Friday period?
Oh, that's a great question, I think. Yeah, so basically, I think you need to know your numbers, and basically in some accounts, what we have seen, they are way too low, below the break-even part, and that costs the client a lot of money in this case. And I think you need to tailor your ads for the Black Friday period. So basically, you want to incorporate all the assets in headings and descriptions, and you want to incorporate Black Friday keywords in your ad sets, for example. And that, I think if you don't do that, you are losing in the end. So I think that are the most obvious things to do, but some neglected. And basically, all the basics are need to have in place. Of course, it's just like conversion tracking, remarketing tracking. It's way important, of course. But that are the basics that need to be done always. So
yeah, is there anything from, for example, last year that you tried or experimented with around Black Friday that you can remember that used to work really well back then?
maybe one example. For example, I had a client they sell smart thermostats for the living room, for example, for the heating. And he had one product and recreated a super deal page with a great price or something like that. But one reason it didn't work. I don't know why it worked. Because the price was great, the deal was great, the inventory was great. And basically, I think we only relied, for example, in this case, on Performance Max, and I think that was the part where we have could upgrade the setup with for example, standard shopping campaign for the fallback. Maybe you run up additionally some demand generation. I think it was not available yet in that period last year, but maybe to focus on one product and one campaign setup wasn't the best idea. And I think you need to look at your whole strategy also with other channels, of course, how you can look omni-channel to bring up your offer in this case. So basically, not focusing on one product. I think that's not the way to go.
Yeah, it makes sense. Was that a full-on Performance Max with all assets, feed only?
That was a full-on in this case.
Yeah. Especially then, like 1 year ago, I think Performance Max was not as well developed as it might be right now. So that makes a lot of sense.
So I think it was a little bit. I think this one was related to the fact that we are, of course, being way too late to the party, and we have to shift gears in the last week or something like that. And then you can't deploy the whole strategy, of course. So basically, the main point of my story is start early.
Yeah. I think if I have to summarize in 3 words, well, except for start early, if I have to summarize in 3 words, what you have said in this session so far is just know your numbers. I think that is absolutely crucial when I hear you talk now, because even when I asked about, tactics and everything, you just mentioned that, the first thing, you just need to know your numbers. Otherwise, it's just all gonna be for nothing.
Yeah, of course. And that's, obviously, in most of the times, the most hard part to get the right numbers from the clients, because some clients, they don't know the numbers. And then you have to see how you can come up to it. So.
Yeah. I think this also comes with seniority as a Google Ads specialist, because, when you're starting out, you're so, at least from my experience, when I was starting out, I was so only focused on, in Google Ads, and I would get landing pages from the clients, and then they would basically just tell me how it was going to go, and then I did my work. But as you get better and more experience, and also more understanding of different businesses from the inside out, you start to realize how important those numbers really are. And it's kind of boring maybe to some people to get that, but it's super, super important, because then you can have really good conversations with your clients, about the profits and about how much they can actually grow and what's healthy for them. And from my experience, also, when you have those conversations, they take you really seriously, because it's oftentimes things that they haven't even thought about themselves.
Yeah, of course. Then you're more like a business consultant than you are a Google Ads specialist. So I think that's the best part you can go in this case, and that's mainly, I think, the future of our role as a Google Ads specialist. You need to understand the business of your client very deeply to help them further, and know where the struggles are, and maybe you can see where the gaps are. And basically, if all the campaign setups are automated, and people using the same campaigns, and people have roughly the same profit margin, then you need to know where you can which part you can leverage to find your growth. So the better understanding, I think, the better relationship you will get with your client.
Yeah, for sure. So the last thing that I actually want to touch on is something that I don't think gets spoken about a lot, but for a lot of people, and I have experienced this myself for sure, the period around Black Friday, especially the week before, can be really stressful. I don't know if you also experienced that.
Yeah.
Let me actually just ask that first. Like, have you experienced this whole period to be, it can be really fun, but it can also be really stressful. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know when I was still at an agency, we worked for a client who sells PlayStation, Xboxes, and all the
Mm.
games. It was a big retailer in the Netherlands, and yeah, they are really fixated on growth compared to the last year. And basically, we're just F5ing the dash each 10 minutes to see what are the numbers are doing and what are that was still the period we had to manual adjust all targets and fees, for example, on each product. So basically, that was a very hectic time. And I know when I was free and sitting at the couch at home, just finding all the evening, and it was pretty stressful. And luckily, we break the target, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was back in the days when Black Friday was, from my experience, a little bit more aggressive. And yeah, I think it's a little bit phasing out a little bit right now, and I think that is not a bad thing. What's happening?
Yeah, for sure. So around that time, when it can be quite stressful. Do you have any recommendations for people? Because I know for a fact that whenever I post something on LinkedIn, like tips for preventing burnout, this is something that I've seen a lot with people around me. Is that burnout is just it's real, and working with clients can be super stressful, especially when the expectations are so high, like it is
Yeah.
with Black Friday. Do you have any tips or recommendations for people who might be suffering of having this feeling like might be too much to handle around that period? Like
Yeah,
what
of
they can
course.
do
Yeah,
to
it's
mitigate that?
Yeah, of course, that's always it could be very stressful, and I witnessed it back in the days also very much, because you take everything very personally, and
Mm.
if something is not working out, you hope, you wasted somebody else's money, so it could feel not very good. Let's say that
Yeah.
so. Um, but yeah, I think you need to zoom out a little and what is happening, and don't take it personally. And if you have done your best for the client and in his best interest, that's the best you can do. And if it doesn't work out, there's tomorrow is another day. So basically, when I get that feeling, I will go outside. I will take a walk with my dog and try to decompress a little and see, okay, if it's going not the right way we wanted, what's the worst thing is happening.
Yeah.
And then I think tomorrow is another day. I have another client that I can work for, and if I know I've done my best, I can't do more. And if I know if I have assets in this case, then I know I need to step up my game. And then it's on my part. But if you've done everything what you can do, you don't need stress. And then back in the day, it's client. It's not in the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you also learn this with time. It's just I also took it so personally always in the beginning. And still sometimes like it's tricky because as you said, you're just spending money for other people.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is just to not identify with the results that you're getting. Also, when it's going well, for me, I always set the rule, like, don't be too excited about it, because if I'm super excited about when it's going well, I'm also going to be super down when
Yeah.
it's not. So you have to find that
and
balance.
unluckily we can't make sure that people are click on the ad to buy the product. So there are so many factors,
Yeah.
which causing the improvement or the decline of the campaign. So it's often beyond our control. So try to not make it personal and go with the flow, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Ruben, on task force, last note. So I know you've, is it 1 year now?
I think we are now,
A little
we
bit longer?
officially a little bit longer. I think 1 year and 3 months right now.
Yeah, okay. So it's crazy. Like on one hand, it feels like you're doing it much longer, and on the other hand, it feels still so fresh. It's crazy.
Yes, it's
But
pretty crazy. So basically, yeah, we know the part that Guy was stuck at
mm,
his last job at an
yeah,
other leading agency, and yeah, Guy is only still here from last January,
yeah.
and yeah, January was not that long ago. So
That's probably why. I think that is why, because I already knew that you were doing this before, and you told me that he was joining, but it was still under the radar.
yeah,
And then he joined officially from January onwards. So then that's why I think it still feels kind of
yeah,
fresh.
basically,
Uh,
yeah. Basically, yeah, I think Bernd and I started in August with the post
right.
that we are starting. So I
Yeah.
think is more than a year right now.
Yeah. Very awesome. So what are your goals and ambitions for Task Force? From what you can share, obviously, I know that right now
Yeah, of course.
you are in a cool space with the team to discuss the vision and the plans. Don't share
Yeah,
anything that is still like not worth sharing that you can't share yet, but just like your personal ambitions.
I think the guys went to the pub, so they are not here anymore. But yeah, we have of course we have goals, and we work on our goals setting right now in this vacation home where we are right now. But yeah, what we like to do is we want only work for our clients that we like to work for. And
Mhm.
basically, in the end, that's the goal. Yeah, if we are in the revenue where we want to be, I think we are there somewhere of around next year,
Nice.
and that we can be very selective on the people we working with. So basically, we have a very awesome team right now. We are with 15 people right now,
Wow.
and and it's pretty cool to work with those senior specialists on the accounts where we can work for. And if we can do cool stuff with cool people for cool clients, yeah, then we are very happy. We don't want to be the biggest agency or the most
Mm.
profitable agency or something like that. We just want to work on the coolest cases in this case. And if we can win in the end award with it, that would be cool. But yeah, we like to work with cool people with cool stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. And we are almost there. And I think if we, yeah, in just 6 months, we're hoping to get on the point where we can say, okay, we are right there and build some exclusivity. Because
Mm.
yeah, if we can be a little bit more exclusive, then if some clients stops for some reason, if it's don't working out, so we like to, like we hope, yeah, if we can build something on waiting lists with cool clients, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most thing, yeah, we like to achieve. And if we have that, yeah, then we are very happy, and we like to do it for many years as we could. We don't have an intention for to feed the pig and sell it, because yeah, we
Hmm.
only work with freelancers, so it's
Right.
worth nothing. Um, so yeah, basically, yeah, we like to be as long as we could in the business and to
Nice.
do cool stuff.
Build cool things for the community as well as you're doing. Because I know you've been documenting the journey in your newsletter.
Yeah.
Building open agency, right? It's still called that.
Yeah, that was the working title up front, and we didn't come up with a better one. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know.
Sure. But I think it's worth for everyone to subscribe to that. So where can people do that?
Buildingonlineagency.com.
Okay, cool. I will put that in the description as well. And I highly recommend to read that. Are you also uploading the previous issues on the website?
Yeah, there's an archive. So if you
Yeah,
are
yeah, exactly.
subscribed, you can read all the letters back. So we are basically now at, yeah, we just launched today the 50th one. So
Nice.
basically we are only, yeah, almost a year round. So
Yeah.
Very cool to do. You was my your biggest inspiration in this case with the PPC Edge. So
Nice.
thank you for that. And
Awesome.
yeah, we like to continue it because it's function like our logbook, so we can look back from okay, which week we did what did we and where we're standing. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool to share that with the world, like building in public that way. Because then, as you said, you can read back, but other people can also read back, and that's why I think it's nice to subscribe. If you're listening to this podcast or watching on YouTube, if you subscribe and maybe you are also, maybe you're working at an agency now, or you want to go freelance, or you are a freelancer and you want to start an agency, you can really see the things that you didn't share insights, as in, okay, we're the gurus and this is how we're going to do it and this is going to be perfect and this is how you should do it. No, you shared openly your experiences and just said like, okay, this is what we're facing now. This might be the name. We just don't know exactly yet. Or we're struggling with this, people, clients. I think you were really open in that regard. So it's just fun to read.
Thank you for that. And we try to be so transparent as we could. And yeah, of course, we are still learning every day, and that's why we also like to talk to other entrepreneurs or other agency owners to see how they build their business. And because we didn't build an agency earlier, so basically we don't know what to do, and we're trying along the way, and it's going pretty good. But also, yeah, we learning every day, and yeah, sure, there are some things we could do done better in the end, but yeah. It's very cool to do, and basically with two other guys that are highly involved, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, should recommend that.
Yeah, if your goal, you can really notice that your ultimate goal is just to just have fun and build epic stuff with cool people, and that just also shows it in your output. So it's it's just fantastic. So where can people find you on LinkedIn? Anywhere else?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. Of course, in there I will sharing our our daily operations. So if you find my name online, I think it will pop up. And basically on our website is 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a lot of information about it. buildingopenagency.com is our newsletter. And basically our actually my partner and our consultant are just started with a new newsletter with advanced scripting for Google Ads. So basically that's pretty awesome to follow also. They are just launching tomorrow. So I'm curious what it's going to be about. But it should be great also.
So are they it's Quint and Bernd, right?
Quint and Bernd, yes.
Are they sharing this newsletter on LinkedIn, or is it a
that's a LinkedIn newsletter, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna link to that as well. Do you know the name? I can find it, but do they have a name?
It's yes, Next Level App Scripts.
Next Level App Scripts, yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna also link to that.
Right.
Okay, well, everyone, thanks for listening and watching, and however you consume this content, as always. And Ruben, thank you for coming on. Make sure to follow him on LinkedIn and subscribe to the Building Open Agency newsletter, and also Next Level Ad Scripts if you're into Google Ad Scripts, which you probably are if you're listening to this. And with that said, thanks, man. Come back anytime you want, and
will do.
Stay in touch.
Thank you for the invitation. Always good to speak to you. So hopefully I see you next time in Amsterdam on the event you're planning to.
For sure. In November. Yeah.
November, yeah.
Absolutely.
I will be there.
Gonna be a pleasure. Nice.
Cool.
As always.
As always. Thank you,
All
man.
right. Thanks everyone for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing, all that stuff. I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.